Black screen. Breathing. Heavy. Panicked. Your Honor, she stole from me. I cleaned your toilets for 8 years. My grandmother's ring. $15,000. 8 years. Silence. How did I get here? How did a woman who scrubbed floors end up in a courtroom fighting for her life? Let me show you. I MSS hated who brilly free. I MSS hated who brilly free. Before you hear what happened to me, do something. Subscribe, right now, because stories like mine, they disappear. Women like me, we vanish, and nobody notices. I need you to notice. Comment where you're watching from. City, country, anything, because for 8 years I was invisible. And I need to know someone sees me now. Someone has to see me. JFK Airport. 2016. She walked out carrying everything she owned in one bag. $47 in her bra. A phone number on crumpled paper. The phone rang twice. Hello? You the Jamaica girl? Looking for work? Yes I am. I'm a hard worker, You got papers? Her heart stopped. I have a tourist visa. 6 months. Silence on the line. Long silence. That ain't papers, sweetheart. But I know someone needs help. Cash work. You interested? Yes, please, yes. Connecticut. Tomorrow morning, 6 a.m. Don't be late. Click. She stood there holding the dead phone. 6 months. That's all she had. 6 months before her visa expired and she became nothing. Big house. White pillars. Perfect grass. She knocked. The door opened. Catherine Whitmore. Blonde. Thin. Diamond earrings bigger than anything she'd ever owned. Catherine looked her up and down like she was inspecting meat. You're the Jamaican? Yes ma'am. I'm Maria. Thank you so much for. Inside. Quickly. Maria stepped in. Started to walk. Shoes. She froze. Shoes off. Always. You understand? Yes ma'am. Sorry ma'am. She bent down, fingers shaking, untied her worn sneakers. The only shoes she brought from home. Catherine watched, said nothing, just watched. Follow me, don't touch anything. They walked through rooms bigger than her entire house in Kingston. 6 bedrooms, 4 bathrooms. You clean all of them, every single day. Yes ma'am. Laundry, cooking, shopping, my children. Brandon is 12, Ashley is 9. You'll drive them everywhere. Of course. I love children. I have 3 of my own back. Catherine stopped walking. Turned. I don't need your life story, Maria. I need to know if you can do the job. Maria swallowed. Yes ma'am. I can do the job. Catherine smiled. Cold. Good. Because the last girl, she got lazy, entitled, started asking for days off, more money, all sorts of demands. Pause. I don't tolerate that. No ma'am. You won't have any problems with me. I know I won't. Kitchen. Catherine poured herself wine. Full glass. Didn't offer Maria anything. Your visa. It's temporary, yes? Yes ma'am. 6 months. But I'm planning to apply for. You're not applying for anything. Maria blinked. I'm sorry? Catherine leaned forward. Maria, let me be very, very clear. You work for me. I pay you $400 a week. Cash. No contract. No paperwork. No taxes. I don't understand. You don't exist. Officially, which means nobody asks questions. Not the IRS. Maria's hands started shaking. Yes, we're clear. Perfect. Now, your passport. Catherine held out her hand. The world tilted. My passport? For safekeeping. I'll put it in my safe. You don't need it while you're working here. But that's mine. I need. Catherine's voice dropped 20 degrees. Maria, you're in my house. Under my roof. Eating my food. I need insurance that you're not going to rob me blind and disappear. Not a blind house. I would never. Of course you wouldn't, because I trust you. She held out her hand again. Maria reached into her bag. Her hands wouldn't stop shaking. She pulled out her passport. The only thing that proved she existed. And handed it over. Catherine smiled. See, that wasn't so hard. Welcome to the family. She walked away with Maria's entire life in her hand. Her room was in the attic. Small, hot, a single bed and a dresser. She sat on the bed and called home. Mama? Maria. Baby, you there? You safe? Yes, Mama, I'm safe. I got a job. I'm sending money next week. Oh, thank God. Thank God, baby. The children been asking for you nonstop. When you coming home? She looked around the tiny room. Soon, Mama. Real soon. She hung up, stared at her phone. Opened her photos. Her 3 babies. Marcus, 14. Sarah, 17. Little Joy, only 8. They were smiling in the picture. Didn't know their mama wasn't coming back. She lay down. Didn't cry, couldn't afford to cry. She had 6 months to figure this out. 6 months before she disappeared forever. 5:30 a.m. Alarm. She got up. Made coffee. Catherine came down in silk pajamas, didn't say good morning. Just, coffee's weak. Make it stronger tomorrow. 6 a.m. Breakfast for the kids. Brandon barely looked at her. Ashley smiled. Thank you, Maria. Catherine snapped. Ashley, eat. Don't talk. 7 a.m. Drive kids to school in Catherine's Range Rover. 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Clean. Cook. Shop. Laundry. Repeat. 9 p.m. Kitchen cleanup. 10 p.m. Finally sat down. Counted her money. 300 to send home. 100 to keep. She called home again. Mama, I'm sending 300. For school fees. Bless you, baby. You such a good daughter. Such a good mama. She wasn't a good mama. Good mamas didn't leave their children. She was a desperate mama. That's different. Week 3, Catherine called her into the office. Maria, sit. She sat. I've been watching you. You're a hard worker. Thank you, ma'am. But I noticed you've been using the expensive laundry detergent. The Tide Pods, those are $4 each. I didn't know. I'm sorry. From now on, use the cheap stuff, store brand. Are we clear? Yes, ma'am. Also, I noticed you ate some of the grapes yesterday. The organic ones. Those are $12 a pound. Maria's face burned. I was hungry. I skipped lunch too. There's bread and peanut butter. Eat that. Silence. Yes, ma'am. Month 2. Midnight. Knock, knock, knock. She sat up in bed, heart pounding. Maria, you awake? Richard Whitmore. Catherine's husband. She got up, pulled on her robe, opened the door. He stood there in loosened tie, whiskey breath, eyes too focused on her body. Mr. Whitmore, is something wrong? Wrong? No, no. I just need coffee. Can you make me some coffee? Of course, sir. I'll go down. He stepped closer. You know, Maria. My wife doesn't appreciate you. But I see how hard you work. She backed up. Thank you, sir. Let me just. You're very pretty, Maria. Has anyone told you that? Her blood went ice cold. Sir, I'm going to make your coffee now. She tried to move past him. He blocked her. Maria. I'm a lawyer. Very successful lawyer. I know a lot of people. Immigration people. She froze. I could help you. With your situation. I don't understand. He smiled, touched her arm. I think you do. She jerked away. Don't touch me. His smile disappeared. Careful, Maria. Remember who you're talking to. I'm making your coffee. Please wait downstairs. She pushed past him and ran. She made the coffee with shaking hands. He sat at the kitchen island, watching her like a predator. You know, Maria, one phone call. That's all it takes. One call to immigration and you're gone. She said nothing, poured coffee. But I'm a reasonable man. I take care of people who take care of me. She put the mug down in front of him. Your coffee, sir. She turned to leave. Think about my offer, Maria. Doors always open. She walked upstairs. She pushed her dresser against it and sat on her bed shaking. That night, she understood something. She wasn't just trapped. She was prey. Her hands were bleeding. The chemicals had cracked her skin open. Raw, red, painful. She was scrubbing Catherine's toilet when the woman walked in. Maria, we need to discuss your salary. She stood up, wiped her bleeding hands on her pants. Yes, ma'am? $400 a week is generous. Too generous, actually. Her stomach dropped. Ma'am, I work 14 hours a day, 7 days. 350, starting this week. But I send money home to my children. They need. Catherine's voice went sharp. Then spend less. Be smarter with money. Ma'am, please. Just $50 makes such a. Are you arguing with me? Silence. No, ma'am. Good. Because Maria, there are 100 women who would kill for this job. You're replaceable. Remember that. She walked out. Maria looked down at her bleeding hands. Realized Catherine was right. She was replaceable. She was nothing. Evening. Helping Ashley with math homework. What's 7 times 8? 56. Perfect. You're so smart. Ashley hugged her tight. I love you, Maria. Her heart broke and healed at the same time. I love you too, baby. Catherine's voice, sharp from the doorway. Ashley, bed. Now. Ashley ran off. Catherine closed the door. Let me make something clear. You're not their mother. You're the help. I was just. I don't care what you were just. Don't get attached. Don't let them get attached. Do your job. Nothing more. She left. Maria sat there staring at nothing. That night, she looked at pictures of her real children. Marcus was 15 now. Sarah was 18. Joy was 9. She'd missed 2 years of their lives. While raising children who would never be hers. What kind of mother was she? The desperate kind. That's all. Her visa had been expired for 6 months. She was officially illegal now. Catherine knew. Richard knew. They reminded her constantly. Don't forget, Maria, you're here illegally. One phone call, Maria. That's all it takes. You're lucky we're protecting you. Protecting. That's what they called it. Prison would be more accurate. Year 2. Catherine called her into the office again. Maria, I need you to sign something. Tax documents, employee forms, official papers. What is this? Just a formality. For my records. But you said no paperwork. You said. Sign it, Maria. But I don't understand what. Catherine's voice went deadly quiet. Maria, do you want to keep working here? Yes, ma'am. Do you want me to call immigration? No, ma'am. Then, sign the papers. She signed. Didn't read them. Didn't understand them. Just signed her name on every line Catherine pointed to. Later she'd learn what she'd signed. Later she'd understand the trap. But right now? Right now, she just needed to survive another day. Year 3. Richard cornered her in the laundry room. No one else home. Just them. He stood in the doorway, blocking her exit. Maria, we need to talk. She kept folding clothes. Didn't look at him. About what, sir? About us. There is no us, sir. He walked closer. You've been here 3 years. Living in my house. Eating my food. I don't know what you mean. He grabbed her wrist. Hard. I think you do. She yanked her hand away. Don't touch me. I'll tell your wife. He laughed. Actually laughed. Tell her what? That the illegal immigrant maid is accusing me of something? Who do you think she'll believe, Maria? She tried to push past him. He grabbed her again. Harder this time. Let go of me. Or what? You'll call the police, please. She kneed him. Hard. Right between the legs. He doubled over. She ran. Locked herself in the bathroom upstairs. Sat on the floor shaking. You just made a big mistake, Maria. A very big mistake. Year 4. Her hands didn't stop bleeding anymore. The skin was permanently cracked. Scarred. She could barely feel hot water anymore. Her back hurt constantly from bending over. Cleaning. Scrubbing. Always scrubbing. Catherine started docking her pay for everything. Broke a glass? -$20. Used too much toilet paper? -10. Cooked dinner 5 minutes late? -30. Some weeks she only took home $200. Barely enough to send anything home. Her mother kept asking when she was coming back. Her children stopped calling. She couldn't blame them. What kind of mother disappears for 4 years? Year 5. Ashley turned 14. Brandon turned 17. They barely noticed her anymore. She was just part of the furniture. The help. The invisible woman who cooked and cleaned and existed in the background. But one night, late, Brandon came down to the kitchen. Found her crying over a letter from home. Her daughter Sarah was getting married. Didn't invite her. Didn't even tell her until after. Maria, you okay? She wiped her eyes quickly. I'm fine, Brandon. Just tired. He sat down. Looked at the letter. Your daughter's getting married? Yes. In 2 weeks. You're not going? I can't. I don't have papers. If I leave America, I can't come back. He was quiet for a long time. My mom. She's not a good person. Is she? Maria didn't answer. I'm sorry, Maria. I'm sorry for what she does to you. What my father does. I see it. I see everything. She looked at him. Really looked at him. This boy she'd raised. Fed. Helped with homework. Listened to when he cried about girls and school and life. You're a good kid, Brandon. I'm not a kid anymore. And when I turn 18 next month, I'm leaving. I'm getting out of this house. You should too. I'm not a kid. I can't. Why not? Because I'm trapped, and there's no way out. Year 6. Catherine's diamond ring appeared. Suddenly, out of nowhere, she started mentioning it constantly. At breakfast, at dinner, during random conversations. This ring, Maria, it's worth $15,000. My grandmother gave it to me. It's irreplaceable. She'd leave it on her vanity. In plain sight, Maria cleaned that room every day. Saw the ring every day. Never touched it. Knew better than to touch it. Year 7. The ring disappeared. Catherine came to her room at 6 a.m. Pounded on the door. Maria. Wake up. She stumbled out of bed, opened the door. Ma'am, what's wrong? My ring. My grandmother's ring. It's gone. Her heart stopped. Gone? Someone took it, and you're the only one who goes in my room. I didn't take anything. I swear, I would never. Catherine's eyes were cold. Dead. We'll see about that. She called Richard, called a private investigator. They searched Maria's room. Tore it apart, found her savings. $2,000, every penny she'd saved in 7 years. How did you get this much money, Maria? I only pay you $300 a week. I saved it, every penny. I didn't spend anything on myself. Or you've been stealing from us for years. No, I saved it. They kept searching, found a necklace, Catherine's gold necklace, hidden in her closet. Maria had never seen it before in her life. I didn't put that there. Someone planted it. I swear, I didn't. Catherine started crying. Fake tears. Perfect performance. You've been stealing from me this whole time. Oh my God. I trusted you. I let you into my home. And you robbed me. I didn't. Please, you have to believe me. Richard pulled out his phone. I'm calling the police. Maria's world collapsed. Please, please don't. I'm illegal. They'll deport me. I'll never see my children again. Please. Richard smiled. Then tell us where the ring is. I don't have it. Wrong answer. He dialed. She fell to her knees. Begging. Crying. Pleading. But she saw it in their eyes. The coldness. The calculation. This was always the plan. Use her. Break her. Destroy her. And when they were done, throw her away like garbage. Year 8. Standing in the courtroom. Catherine, crying her fake tears. Playing the victim. The judge looking at Maria like she was trash. Like she was nothing. And Maria thought about the passport Catherine still had. The wages she never paid. The harassment. The threats. The abuse. 8 years of hell. And now this. But something was different this time. This time, Maria wasn't afraid anymore. This time, Maria was done being silent. 100 Bytevly, Monsen. Subscribe if you want to know what happens next. Because what I'm about to tell you, it's going to shock you. Part 2 drops tomorrow. Don't miss it. Comment below where you're watching from. Let me know you're listening. Because for 8 years, nobody listened. And I need to know someone hears me now. The courtroom was silent. Maria stood there, hands shaking but head held high. The judge looked at her, over his reading glasses. Mrs. Thompson, do you understand the charges against you? Yes, Your Honor. And how do you plead? Not guilty. Catherine gasped. Loud. Theatrical. Richard put his hand on her shoulder. The perfect concerned husband. Your Honor, Catherine said, her voice trembling, I don't understand. The evidence is clear. The necklace was found in her room. My ring is missing. She's the only one who. The judge held up his hand. Mrs. Whitmore. You'll have your chance to present evidence. He looked at Maria. Mrs. Thompson, do you have legal representation? Maria swallowed. Her throat was dry. I do, Your Honor. She's on her way. The judge nodded. We'll reconvene in 1 hour. Court is adjourned. The gavel came down. Maria's legs almost gave out. A hand touched her elbow. She turned. Carmen stood there. The woman who'd given her that lawyer's number 2 years ago. The woman she'd been too afraid to call until now. You okay? No. Good. Because you shouldn't be okay. You should be furious. Carmen's eyes were fierce. They walked out of the courtroom. Catherine and Richard watched them go. Maria could feel their eyes burning into her back. She kept walking. For the first time in 8 years, she didn't look back. The lawyer's name was Laura Chen. 35, Vietnamese American. Sharp suit, sharper eyes. She sat across from Maria in a small conference room and listened. Didn't interrupt, didn't judge, just listened. When Maria finished, Laura leaned back in her chair. Okay, this is what we're dealing with. Labor trafficking, wage theft, sexual harassment, false imprisonment, and now false accusation with planted evidence. Maria's head spun. I just want my passport back. I just want to go home. Laura's expression softened. Maria, if you go home now, they win. They destroy you and move on to the next woman. Is that what you want? No. Then we fight, but I need to know everything. And I mean everything. No matter how small. No matter how embarrassing. Can you do that? Maria nodded. Yes. Laura pulled out a notepad. Start from the beginning. So Maria did. She told Laura about Richard's midnight visits. About Catherine's constant threats. About the tax documents she'd signed without understanding. About her passport locked in Catherine's safe. About the wages that kept shrinking. About the years of abuse and fear and silence. Laura wrote everything down. When Maria finished, Laura looked up. Do you have any proof? Any evidence at all? Maria's heart sank. No, I was too afraid to. Wait, Laura's eyes narrowed. You said Catherine made you sign tax documents. 2 years ago. Yes, I didn't know what they were. Laura smiled. It wasn't a kind smile. It was the smile of a predator who'd just spotted prey. Maria, do you know what those documents were? No. They made you an official employee. On paper, which means they were required to pay you minimum wage, overtime, provide benefits. They didn't do any of that, did they? No. Which means they committed fraud. They used you to hide their financial crimes. And that, Maria, that's evidence. That's proof. Laura leaned forward. Laura leaned forward. Here's what's going to happen. We're going to bury them. The next 2 months were hell. Laura worked fast. She subpoenaed the Whitmores' financial records. Found the tax documents Maria had signed. Found proof they'd claimed her as an employee for tax deductions but never paid her properly. Found evidence of their failing finances. Their mounting debts, their desperate need to find a scapegoat. But they needed more. We need witnesses, Laura said. Anyone who saw how they treated you. Anyone who can testify. Maria thought of Brandon. The boy she'd raised. The boy who'd apologized to her in the kitchen 5 years ago. The boy who'd said he saw everything. Brandon, she whispered. Laura looked up. Brandon Whitmore? Their son? Yes. He knows. He's seen everything. Laura was quiet for a moment. Maria, he's their son. He's not going to testify against his parents. He might. He's different. He's not like them. Laura sighed. Okay, we can try. But don't get your hopes up. They contacted Brandon through his college email. He was 20 now. Sophomore at Columbia. He responded within an hour. I'll testify. Tell me when and where. Maria cried when she read his message. Laura squeezed her hand. See? Sometimes people surprise you. The preliminary hearing was brutal. Catherine took the stand first. She cried. God. She cried beautifully. She talked about how much she'd trusted Maria. How she'd treated her like family. How betrayed she felt. We gave her everything, Catherine sobbed. A home. A job. We were so generous. And she stole from us. She stole from our family. The prosecutor showed pictures of the gold necklace found in Maria's room. Showed statements from the private investigator. Showed Catherine's tearful testimony about her missing ring. Then it was Maria's turn. Laura asked her questions. Simple questions. How much were you paid? What were your working hours? Did you have days off? Could you leave the property freely? Maria answered honestly. $350 a week by the end. 14 to 16 hours a day. 7 days a week. No, I couldn't leave. They had my passport. Infrequelid. IMI-5 team. The courtroom stirred. The judge leaned forward. They kept your passport? Yes, Your Honor. For 8 years. Why didn't you report this? Maria looked directly at Catherine. Because they threatened to call immigration. Because I was illegal. Because I was terrified. Catherine's lawyer jumped up. Objection. My client never threatened. Your Honor, Laura interrupted. I have evidence that will prove otherwise. She played the recordings. Maria had started recording 6 months ago. After Richard cornered her in the laundry room. After Catherine docked her pay to almost nothing. After she realized she needed proof or no one would believe her. The courtroom listened to Catherine's voice. Maria. There are 100 women who would kill for this job. You're replaceable. Remember that. Then Richard's voice. One phone call, Maria. That's all it takes. One call to immigration and you're gone. Then Catherine again. Sign the papers, Maria. Don't make this difficult. The recordings played for 20 minutes. When they finished, the courtroom was silent. The judge looked at Catherine. Mrs. Whitmore, do you deny saying these things? Catherine's face was pale. We were just trying to help her. She's twisting everything. The judge didn't look convinced. Continue, Miss Chen. Laura called her next witness. Carmen Rodriguez. The woman who'd worked for a similar family, who'd escaped after 12 years. Who testified about the patterns of abuse, the threats, the wage theft, the passport confiscation. This is common, Carmen said. Very common. These families, they find vulnerable women. Women with no papers. No options. And they exploit them. She looked at Maria. I'm lucky I got out. Most women don't. Then Laura called an immigration expert. A labor rights attorney. An accountant who'd analyzed the Whitmore's finances. One by one, they built the case. Showed the exploitation. Showed the fraud. Showed the abuse. But the strongest testimony came on day 3. Brandon Whitmore walked into the courtroom. Catherine gasped. Richard's face went red. Brandon, what are you doing? Catherine hissed. Brandon didn't look at his parents. He walked to the witness stand. Laura approached him gently. Brandon, how long have you known Maria? Since I was 12. 8 years. How would you describe your parents' treatment of her? Brandon was quiet for a long moment. Then he spoke. They treated her like a slave. He looked at his mother. I'm sorry, Mom. But it's true. They worked her like an animal. They threatened her constantly. They kept her passport. They wouldn't let her leave. Catherine was shaking her head, tears streaming down her face. Brandon, how can you say this? How can you betray us like this? Brandon finally looked at his parents. Because Maria never betrayed me. When I was failing math in 7th grade, She helped me. When I was depressed in high school, she listened. When I had a drug problem my sophomore year, she's the one who convinced me to get help. Not you. Her. The courtroom was silent. Brandon turned back to Laura. My parents used her. They exploited her. And when they were done, they tried to destroy her. He paused. And I'm not going to let them. Then came the bombshell. Laura asked him about the ring. Brandon, do you know anything about your mother's missing diamond ring? Brandon took a deep breath. Yes. Catherine stood up. The judge banged his gavel. Mrs. Whitmore, sit down. Brandon continued. The ring isn't missing. It never was. My mother hid it herself. In her safe deposit box at the bank. I saw her do it. She wanted to frame Maria. She needed a reason to get rid of her without paying what they owed. The courtroom exploded. Richard was shouting. Catherine was crying. The judge was banging his gavel. Lawyers were arguing. And Maria just sat there, numb with shock. Laura's voice cut through the chaos. Your Honor, I have bank records. Safe deposit box access logs. Mrs. Whitmore accessed her safe deposit box the day before the ring supposedly went missing. The ring is there. It always has been. The judge looked at Catherine. His expression had changed. Mrs. Whitmore, is this true? Catherine couldn't speak. She just sat there, mouth open, tears running down her face. The judge continued. I'm ordering the immediate opening of that safe deposit box. If that ring is found inside, Mrs. Whitmore, you will be facing criminal charges for filing a false police report and perjury. He looked at Maria. Mrs. Thompson, you're free to go. All charges are dropped. Maria couldn't breathe. Free? I'm free? Yes. The judge's expression softened. And, Mrs. Thompson? I'm very sorry for what you've endured. He looked at the Whitmores. I'll be referring this case to the Department of Labor and Immigration Services for further investigation. Court is adjourned. Maria walked out of the courtroom in a daze. Carmen hugged her. Laura shook her hand. Brandon approached hesitantly. Maria, I'm sorry. I should have said something years ago. I was a coward. Maria looked at this young man she'd raised. You spoke up when it mattered. Thank you. He nodded, tears in his eyes, and walked away. 2 weeks later, they opened Catherine's safe deposit box. The ring was there. Exactly as Brandon had said. Catherine was arrested for filing a false police report and perjury. Richard was arrested for tax fraud and conspiracy. Their house was seized to pay back wages and damages. Maria stood outside that big white house one last time. Carmen stood beside her. How does it feel? Strange. I spent 8 years of my life in there. 8 years of hell. And now it's over. What are you going to do now? Maria pulled out her passport. Laura had gotten it from Catherine's safe. First, I'm going home. To Jamaica. To see my children. To hold them. To apologize for all the years I missed. And then? Then I'm coming back. Maria smiled. Laura's helping me get a U visa. Carmen grinned. Good. Because I'm starting a business. A cleaning cooperative. Fair wages. Legal contracts. Benefits. I need someone I trust to help me run it. Maria looked at her friend. I'd like that. They walked away from the big white house. Didn't look back. There was nothing there worth remembering. At the airport, Maria called her daughter Sarah. The daughter who'd gotten married without her. The daughter who'd stopped calling. Mama? Sarah's voice was shocked. Is that really you? Yes, baby. It's me. I'm coming home. Tomorrow. I'm finally coming home. Sarah started crying. I'm sorry, Mama. I'm so sorry I stopped calling. I was so angry that you left us. I know, baby. I'm sorry too. I'm sorry for everything. But I'm coming home now. And I'm never leaving again. I'm on day. I'm on day. I'm on day. I know, baby. And I'm never leaving again. I'm on day. She hung up and boarded the plane. 8 years. 8 years of cleaning toilets and scrubbing floors and bleeding for people who saw her as nothing. 8 years of threats and fear and silence. But it was over. She'd fought back. She'd won. She'd survived. The plane took off. Maria looked out the window at America disappearing below. This country had broken her. But it hadn't destroyed her. Nothing could destroy her. Not anymore. 3 months later, Maria stood in a small office in Brooklyn. Carmen's Cleaning Cooperative, the sign read. Fair wages. Legal work. Respect. 10 women worked for them now. All immigrants. All formerly exploited. All given a second chance. Maria answered the phone. Carmen's Cleaning, how can I help you? A woman's voice, timid and scared. My name is Anna. I'm from Guatemala. I work for a family in Connecticut. They took my passport. They won't let me leave. I don't know what to do. Maria closed her eyes. Saw herself 8 years ago. Desperate, afraid, trapped. Anna, listen to me. You're going to be okay. We're going to help you. She wrote down the address. Stay safe. We're coming for you. She hung up and called Laura. We've got another one. Laura sighed. Of course we do. I'll start the paperwork. Maria looked around the office. At Carmen, sorting invoices. At Rosa, training a new employee. At the wall of photos, showing all the women they'd helped escape. 12. So far. At Carmen 12 women freed from modern slavery. Her phone buzzed. A text from Sarah. A photo. Her daughter holding a baby. Maria's first grandchild. Born 3 weeks ago. She'd been there for the birth. Held her daughter's hand. Cut the umbilical cord. The text read, Love you mama. Thank you for coming home. Maria smiled. Typed back, Love you too baby. Another call came in. Another woman needing help. Maria answered. Told her she wasn't alone. Told her they'd fight for her. Told her she mattered. Because that's what Maria knew now. After 8 years of being told she was nothing, she knew the truth. She wasn't nothing, she was everything. She was a mother. A survivor. A fighter. She was human. And no one, no matter how rich or powerful, could take that away from her. Not anymore. Anna's apartment was in a basement in Greenwich, Connecticut. Maria and Carmen drove there on a Tuesday morning. Laura sat in the back seat reviewing legal documents. This was their 13th rescue. Are you ready for this? Carmen asked. Maria nodded. I'm ready. They knocked on the door. A man answered. White, 50s, expensive watch. He looked them up and down with disgust. Can I help you? We're here to see Anna. Anna's not available. She's working. We need to speak with her. It's important. The man's face hardened. I don't know who you are, but you need to leave my property right now. Laura stepped forward. Mr. Patterson? I'm Laura Chen, attorney at law. This is a wellness check. We have reason to believe you're holding a woman here against her will. That's ridiculous. Anna works for us voluntarily. She's very happy. Then you won't mind if we speak with her. Actually, I do mind. You're trespassing. Leave now or I'm calling the police. Maria pushed past him. Walked straight into the house. Anna, it's Maria. Hey, get out of my house. The man grabbed Maria's arm. She spun around, looked him dead in the eye. Take your hand off me. Now. Something in her voice made him let go. Maria kept walking. Called out again. Anna. A door opened upstairs. A small woman appeared. Late 20s, bruises on her arms. Fear in her eyes. Anna? The woman nodded. We're taking you out of here. Right now, get your things. She can't just leave. The man was shouting now. She owes us money. Laura pulled out her phone. Started recording. Mr. Patterson, are you admitting that you're keeping Miss Rodriguez here because of alleged debt? I'm not admitting anything. I'm calling my lawyer. Please do. And while you're at it, we'll be calling the police to report labor trafficking. His face went white. You can't prove anything. Carmen walked upstairs, helped Anna pack her small bag. The woman was shaking so badly she could barely zip it. It's okay, Carmen whispered. You're safe now. We've got you. They walked out together. The man stood in the doorway, shouting threats. I'll sue you. All of you. You can't do this. The man stopped. Maria turned back. Yes, we can. And we will. To every family like yours. Every single one. They drove Anna to a safe house in Queens. A small apartment they'd rented for situations like this. Anna sat on the couch, still shaking, still not quite believing she was free. What happens now? She asked. Now you rest. Tomorrow we start the legal process. Laura will help you apply for a U visa. Anna started crying. I was there for 6 years. 6 years. They told me if I left, they'd have me deported. They said no one would believe me. Maria sat beside her. Took her hand. I believe you. We all believe you. And you're not alone anymore. That night, Maria couldn't sleep. She kept thinking about Anna's face. The fear. The relief. The disbelief. She'd seen that same expression in her own mirror for 8 years. Her phone rang at 2 a.m. Unknown number. She almost didn't answer. But something made her pick up. Hello? Heavy breathing on the other end. Then a woman's voice. Thick accent, maybe Filipino. Is this Maria? The woman who helps people? Yes, this is Maria. My name is Grace. I work for a family in Manhattan. They took my passport 4 years ago. I can't leave. They hit me. They don't pay me. I need help. Maria was already getting dressed. Where are you? Upper East Side, but I can't talk long. They check my phone. Can you get out? Can you meet me somewhere? There's a church, Street Thomas. I go there on Sunday mornings. That's the only time they let me out. Okay, this Sunday, 9 a.m. I'll be there. Look for a woman with a yellow scarf. How will I know it's safe? Because I'll tell you something no one else knows. Maria paused. I know what it's like to clean someone's toilet and have them treat you like you're less than the dirt you're scrubbing. I know what it's like to send money home and lie to your children about when you're coming back. I know what it's like to be so tired you can't remember your own name but you keep going because what choice do you have? Silence on the line. Then Grace whispered, I'll be there. Sunday morning. Maria stood outside Street Thomas Church wearing a yellow scarf. 9 o'clock came and went. No Grace. 9:15. 9:30. Carmen touched her arm. Maybe she couldn't get away. She'll come. She has to come. 9:45. The church doors opened. A small woman stepped out. She looked around nervously, spotted the yellow scarf, and walked over. Maria? Grace? The woman nodded, looked behind her constantly. They're at brunch. I have 30 minutes. That's enough. Come with us. Right now. We'll take you somewhere safe. Grace hesitated. But my passport. My papers. They're all in the house. We'll get them back. I promise. But right now, we need to get you out. Grace looked at the church. Then at Maria. Then she nodded. Okay, let's go. They got Grace settled in the safe house with Anna. The two women recognized something in each other immediately. The same haunted look. The same cautious hope. They spoke different languages but understood each other perfectly. Laura started the legal process for Grace. Filed the necessary paperwork. Prepared to go after the Manhattan family. But there was a problem. They're rich. Really rich. Hedge fund manager. High-powered lawyer wife. They have connections. This won't be easy. Nothing's easy, Maria said. We do it anyway. 2 days later, Maria's phone rang. Unknown number again. She answered. Maria Thompson? Yes. This is Jennifer Caldwell. I'm an attorney representing the Patterson family. The family you harassed and made false accusations against. Maria's blood ran cold. I didn't harass anyone. I helped a woman escape labor trafficking. Miss Rodriguez signed a contract. She owed the Patterson family money. You interfered with a legal employment agreement. There was no legal agreement. They kept her passport. They didn't pay her. They abused her. Can you prove that? Yes. We can. The lawyer's voice turned icy. Miss Thompson, I strongly advise you to stop this crusade of yours. You're making enemies. Powerful enemies. People who can make your life very difficult. Are you threatening me? I'm warning you. Drop the case against the Pattersons. Return Miss Rodriguez to their custody. Or face the consequences. Maria hung up. Her hands were shaking. Carmen looked at her with concern. What was that about? They're threatening us. Trying to scare us into backing down. Are you scared? Maria thought about Catherine's courtroom tears. Richard's smug smile. The 8 years of fear and silence. Then she thought about Anna's face when they rescued her. Grace's whispered thank you. No, I'm not scared anymore. I'm done being scared. But the threats didn't stop. They got worse. Anonymous letters arrived at the office. You're going to regret this. Watch your back. We know where you live. Someone slashed the tires on Carmen's van. Someone broke into the safe house, though thankfully no one was there. Laura received a disciplinary complaint filed with the Bar Association. Frivolous, but time-consuming to fight. They're trying to break us, Laura said. They won't, Maria replied. We've all been broken before. We know how to survive. Then the news story hit. Local woman accused of kidnapping and extortion. The article painted Maria as a con artist who preyed on vulnerable families, convincing their employees to make false accusations for financial gain. The Pattersons were quoted extensively. We trusted Anna, like family. This woman Maria convinced her to betray us. It's heartbreaking. Maria's phone exploded with calls. Angry voicemails. Hateful messages. Her daughter Sarah called from Jamaica, panicked. Mama, what's happening? I'm seeing articles about you. They're saying terrible things. It's lies, baby. All lies. The people I'm fighting against, they're powerful. They're trying to destroy me. Should you stop? Should you come home? Maria looked around the office. At Anna, helping Grace fill out paperwork. At Carmen, organizing supplies for their next rescue. At Laura, reviewing legal briefs. No, baby, I can't stop. Too many women need help. But Mama, what if they hurt you? They already hurt me. For 8 years. But I survived. And I'm not running anymore. 2 weeks later, they got a break. Brandon called. His voice was urgent. Maria? I need to talk to you. It's about my parents. What about them? They're planning something. I overheard my mom on the phone. She's working with other families. The ones you're going after. They're coordinating. Building a case against you. What kind of case? I don't know exactly, but Maria, they're dangerous. They have money, power, connections. You need to be careful. Maria closed her eyes. Of course Catherine was behind this. Even from jail, awaiting trial, she was pulling strings. Thanks for the warning, Brandon. Maria, I'm serious. My mother, she's obsessed with destroying you. She blames you for everything. The arrest, the public humiliation, losing the house, she wants revenge. Let her try. She hung up, told Laura and Carmen what Brandon had said. They sat in silence for a moment. What do we do? Carmen asked. We keep going. We document everything. We stay together. And we don't let them win. That night, Maria was alone in her apartment when her door buzzed. She wasn't expecting anyone. Looked through the peephole. A man stood there. Expensive suit, official-looking briefcase. Who is it? Immigration and Customs Enforcement. We need to speak with you about your visa status. Maria's heart stopped. She had a U visa. Legal status. She'd done everything right. But fear still gripped her. 8 years of conditioning didn't disappear overnight. Do you have identification? He held up a badge. Looked real. She opened the door, keeping the chain on. What's this about? Ma'am, we've received reports that you obtained your U visa through fraudulent means, that you lied about the abuse you suffered. That's not true. Everything I said was documented, proven in court. Nevertheless, we need you to come to our office tomorrow for questioning. If you fail to appear, a warrant will be issued for your arrest. He handed her a card through the crack in the door. Maria took it with shaking hands. The man left. She locked the door, leaned against it, tried to breathe. Called Laura immediately. Laura, ICE came to my apartment. They said my visa is being investigated. What? That's impossible. Your case was airtight. They said I lied. That it was fraudulent. Laura was quiet for a moment. Maria, give me the agent's name and badge number. Maria read from the card. Agent Robert Martinez. Badge number 4782. More silence. Then Laura's voice, tight with anger. Maria, there is no Agent Robert Martinez with that badge number. You were just scammed. Or threatened. Or both. What? Someone's trying to scare you. Make you think your status is in jeopardy. It's a intimidation tactic. Maria sank onto her couch. How far are they willing to go? As far as it takes. Laura sighed. Maria, maybe you should take a break. Go back to Jamaica for a while. Laura Sauter. Let things cool down. No, if I run, they win. And every woman still trapped. Laura was quiet. Then, you're braver than I am. No, I'm just tired of being afraid. The next day, another woman called. Another desperate voice. Another story of abuse and exploitation. Maria wrote down the address. Called Carmen. Let's go. Are you sure? After everything that's happened? Especially after everything that's happened. They drove to New Jersey. A big house. Familiar. Too familiar. They knocked. A woman answered, looked at them with suspicion. Can I help you? We're here to see Luz. We received a call that she needs help. The woman's face went hard. I don't know who you are, but Luz is perfectly fine. She's happy here. Now leave before I call the police. Maria didn't budge. Luz. If you can hear me, we're here. We can help you. Maria. We can help you. A face appeared at an upstairs window. Young. Terrified. The woman slammed the door. They heard shouting inside. Maria pulled out her phone, called 911. I need to report a woman being held against her will. The police arrived 20 minutes later. By then, Luz was gone. The family claimed she'd left of her own accord, taken her things and walked out the back door. The police searched but found nothing. No evidence of abuse. No sign of Luz. Maria stood on the sidewalk, defeated. We were so close. Carmen put an arm around her. We'll find her. She knows we're looking now. She'll reach out. But Luz never called. Maria checked her phone obsessively for days. Nothing. Another woman lost in the system. Another woman they couldn't save. Laura found Maria crying in the office late one night. Hey. You okay? I couldn't save her. Luz. She's still out there. Still trapped. Laura sat beside her. Maria, you can't save everyone. You know that. But I have to try. You are trying. Look around. Anna's getting her citizenship. Grace is working legally now, sending money home to her kids. The Pattersons are under investigation. You're making a difference. But it's not enough. There are thousands of women. Thousands. And we've saved 13. 13 is more than 0. Maria wiped her eyes. Sometimes, I wonder if this is worth it. The threats. The danger. The exhaustion. Laura took her hand. Let me tell you something. My grandmother came here from Vietnam. Worked in a nail salon for 30 years. Cash only. Below minimum wage. Never complained. Never fought back. She died at 62 from lung cancer from all the chemicals. She never got to see me become a lawyer. But you know what she told me before she died? She said, make sure no one treats you like they treated me. Fight back. That's what you're doing, Maria. You're fighting back, not just for yourself, for every woman like you. Like my grandmother, like Anna and Grace and Luz. That's worth everything. Maria nodded slowly. You're right, I know you're right, I just wish it wasn't so hard. If it was easy, everyone would do it. Laura smiled, but it's not easy. It's brutal, and that's why it matters that you keep going. The office door burst open. Carmen ran in, breathless. Maria. You need to see this. She held up her phone. The news. Local woman's trafficking claims validated. Multiple families under investigation. Maria read the article. Her hands started shaking. After months of controversy, Maria Thompson's accusations against wealthy Connecticut and New York families have been substantiated. Federal investigators have uncovered a network of families who systematically exploited immigrant domestic workers. At least 27 women have been identified as victims. The families face charges, including labor trafficking, tax fraud, and conspiracy. 27 women. Maria whispered. 27. Carmen grinned. You did this. You spoke up and they listened. Maria kept reading. The article mentioned the Pattersons, Grace's former employers, 3 other families they'd helped expose. But at the end, one line caught her eye. Catherine Whitmore, currently awaiting trial, is believed to be a central figure in coordinating the exploitation network. Catherine, of course, she wasn't just fighting to save herself. She'd been part of something bigger. Something systematic, something evil. Maria's phone rang. Unknown number. She almost didn't answer. But something made her pick up. Hello? Maria Thompson? This is Detective Sarah Williams, FBI. We need your help. We're building a case against a network of families who've been trafficking domestic workers. We understand you've been investigating this independently. Yes, I've been trying to help women escape. We'd like you to testify. Share everything you know. Help us bring these people to justice. Maria looked at Carmen and Laura. They nodded. Yes, I'll testify. I'll tell you everything. The FBI investigation took 6 months. Maria testified 3 times, gave them names, addresses, recordings, documents. They raided houses, arrested family members, freed women who'd been trapped for years. The news covered it extensively. The domestic slavery network, they called it. 43 families, 72 victims, millions in stolen wages. And at the center of it all, Catherine Whitmore, the woman who'd taken Maria's passport 8 years ago. The woman who'd worked her like a slave and then tried to frame her for theft. The woman who'd coordinated with other wealthy families to exploit vulnerable women and silence anyone who spoke up. Catherine's trial was set for October. Maria was the star witness. The night before she was supposed to testify, her phone rang. It was Brandon. Maria, my mother wants to talk to you. What? She's asking to see you. Before the trial. She says she has something to tell you. I have nothing to say to her. Please, she's begging. 5 minutes, that's all. Maria wanted to refuse. Wanted to hang up. But curiosity won. Fine, 5 minutes. They met in a conference room at the detention center. Catherine sat across from her in an orange jumpsuit. No makeup, gray roots showing. She looked old. Broken. Nothing like the woman who'd opened her door 8 years ago. Thank you for coming. Maria said nothing. Just waited. Catherine took a deep breath. I'm not here to apologize. I know you won't accept it anyway. I'm here to explain. I don't need your explanations. Yes, you do. Catherine's eyes met hers. Because you think I'm a monster. And maybe I am. But I wasn't always. But I wasn't always. Monsters 21, we come vires, you do this. Maria crossed her arms. 5 minutes. 15 years ago, Richard and I had everything. Money, status, the perfect life. Then the market crashed. We lost almost everything. But we couldn't let anyone know. We had a reputation to maintain. So we cut corners, started cheating on taxes, hiding money, and we needed someone to exploit. Someone who couldn't fight back. So you chose immigrants. We chose people who were desperate. People who had no options. People like you. Catherine's voice broke. I told myself it wasn't that bad. That we were giving you a job. A place to live. That you should be grateful. I should be grateful. For 8 years of abuse. No. Catherine shook her head. No, you shouldn't. I knew I was wrong. But I kept doing it because it was convenient. Not anymore. Catherine smiled bitterly. No. Not anymore. They sat in silence. Then Catherine said, there's something else. Something I need to tell you before the trial. What? The ring. My grandmother's ring. The one I accused you of stealing. What about it? It was never about the ring. I sold it years ago. Needed the money. The ring in the safe deposit box? That was a replica. I bought it to frame you. To get rid of you without paying what we owed. She paused. But you know what's funny? By the time I did all that, I actually hated you, not for what you did, but for what you represented. And what was that? Everything I wasn't. You sacrificed everything for your children, worked yourself to death for them, while I ignored mine. Used them, destroyed them. Brandon hasn't spoken to me since he testified. Ashley won't visit. I ruined my family trying to maintain an image of perfection. And you gave up everything real to protect yours. Maria stood up. Your 5 minutes are up. Wait. Catherine reached out but didn't touch her. I just want you to know. You won. Not just the trial. Not just the case. You won because you're still standing. And I'm not. Maria looked at her. This broken woman who'd caused so much pain. And felt nothing. No anger. No satisfaction. Nothing. Goodbye, Catherine. She walked out, didn't look back. The next day, she testified. Told the jury everything. Every detail. Every moment of the 8 years Catherine had owned her. The jury deliberated for 3 hours. Found Catherine guilty on all counts. Labor trafficking. Tax fraud. Conspiracy. Perjury. She was sentenced to 15 years in federal prison. Richard got 12. Maria stood outside the courthouse with Carmen and Laura. It's over, Carmen said. It's finally over. No, Maria replied. It's not over. There are still women out there. Still families doing this. Still people suffering. But we made a difference. Maria smiled. Yes, we did. And we'll keep making one. Her phone buzzed. A text from Sarah. A photo of her grandchildren playing in the yard in Jamaica. The message read, "They're asking when Grandma's coming home." Maria typed back, "Soon. Very soon. But first, I have work to do. Because that's what survivors do. They don't just survive. They fight. They help others. They change the world. One woman at a time. One rescue at a time. One victory at a time. One victory at a time." And Maria Thompson was just getting started. 3 months after Catherine's sentencing, Maria's phone rang at midnight. She'd learned to expect these calls. Desperate voices in the dark. Women who'd run out of options. Hello? Maria Thompson? My name is Sister Margaret. I run a shelter in the Bronx. There's a woman here. She's asking for you specifically. What's her name? She won't say. But she's terrified. Covered in bruises. Won't let anyone touch her. She just keeps saying your name. I'll be there in 30 minutes. Maria drove through empty streets. Carmen was visiting family in Mexico. Laura was in D.C., testifying before Congress about domestic worker protections. She was alone. The shelter was a converted brownstone. Sister Margaret met her at the door. She's in the back room. Won't eat, won't sleep, just sits there rocking back and forth. Maria walked in. The woman sat huddled in a corner. Dark hair covering her face. When she looked up, Maria's breath caught. It was Ashley, Catherine's daughter. Now 19. The little girl who used to hug her and draw her pictures. Ashley? The girl's eyes were hollow. Maria. You came. Of course I came. What happened? Who did this to you? Ashley started crying. Not gentle tears. Violent. Body-shaking sobs. Maria knelt beside her. It's okay. You're safe now. Tell me what happened. My boyfriend. Ashley's voice was barely a whisper. Tyler. I met him at college. He was so nice at first. So perfect. Then we moved in together and he changed. Changed how? He started controlling everything. What I wore, who I talked to, where I went. Then he started hitting me. She touched her swollen eye. I tried to leave. He said he'd kill me if I did. Why didn't you call the police? Ashley laughed bitterly. Because I'm Catherine Whitmore's daughter. Everyone thinks I'm just like her. Rich. Entitled. Evil. Who's going to believe me? Maria took her hands. I believe you. Ashley looked at her. Really? After everything my mother did to you? Your mother's sins aren't yours. You testified against her. You told the truth. That took courage. I should have done it sooner. Years sooner. Ashley wiped her eyes. I used to watch her treat you like garbage. And I said nothing. I'm as guilty as she is. You were a child. You didn't have power then. But you have it now. And you used it. That's what matters. Ashley nodded slowly. Will you help me? Like you helped those other women? Yes. Maria squeezed her hands. But first, tell me everything. Where is Tyler now? At our apartment. He thinks I'm at the library. I left everything. My phone. My laptop. Everything he could track. Everything. Good. That's smart. Does he know you're here? No. But he'll start looking soon. He always finds me. Not this time. Maria pulled out her phone. Called Laura's emergency number. Laura picked up after 2 rings. Maria? What's wrong? I need your help. Catherine Whitmore's daughter is being abused by her boyfriend. We need a restraining order. Now. On it. Send me the details. Maria turned to Ashley. What's his full name? Address? Any information you have. Ashley told her everything. Tyler Morrison. 23. Pre-law student at Columbia. His father was a judge. His mother was a prosecutor. Of course, Maria thought. It's always the powerful ones. Laura called back an hour later. We have a problem. Tyler's father is Judge Harold Morrison. Second Circuit. He has connections everywhere. Getting a restraining order approved might take weeks. We don't have weeks. I know. Laura paused. Maria, this is going to get ugly. The Morrison family will fight back hard. Let them fight. We've handled worse. The next morning, Tyler showed up at the shelter. Pounded on the door. Let me in. I know Ashley's in there. That's question. That's question. That's question. That's question. That's question. That's question. Ashley, baby, come out. We need to talk. Sister Margaret called 911. Maria stood between Tyler and the door. He looked at her with rage. Who the hell are you? Someone who's not letting you through this door. Ashley's my girlfriend. She's not thinking straight. She needs me. She doesn't need you. She needs you gone. Tyler stepped closer. His voice dropped. You don't know who you're messing with. My father is a federal judge. One phone call and you're done. Then make the call. I'm not moving. The police arrived before Tyler could respond. But they knew his father. Treated him with deference. Mr. Morrison, we need you to leave. This is private property. Tyler's face was calm now. Calculated. Officer, my girlfriend is in there. She's not well. She needs help. I'm worried about her. Sir, she's requested that you stay away. She doesn't know what she wants. She's confused. Mentally unstable. Tyler looked directly at Maria. This woman is poisoning her mind. Turning her against me. Just like she did with other families. That's a lie, Maria said. Is it? Tyler smiled. I've read about you, Miss Thompson. You make a career out of destroying families. Making false accusations. Extorting money. The officer looked uncertain. Ma'am, is this true? No, I help women escape abuse. Like I'm helping Ashley. Tyler pulled out his phone. Showed the officer something. These are text messages from Ashley. From yesterday. She says she loves me. She's happy with me. This woman kidnapped her. Maria's blood ran cold. Those texts were fake. They had to be. Officer, Ashley came here voluntarily. She's 19. An adult. She has the right to leave an abusive relationship. But Tyler was already walking away. He turned back. You haven't won, Miss Thompson. You've just started a war you can't win. My family doesn't lose. 2 days later, the Morrison family filed a lawsuit. Tyler Morrison versus Maria Thompson and Carmen's Cleaning Cooperative. Defamation. Interference with relationship. Emotional distress. They were suing for $5 million. Laura read the filing with growing concern. This is bad. They're not just going after you. They're going after the business. Everything you've built. Can they win? If they get the right judge. Maybe. Tyler's father has influence. Lots of it. What do we do? We fight. Laura's jaw set. But Maria, you need to be prepared. This could destroy you financially. I don't care about the money. You should. Because if they win, Carmen's cooperative shuts down. All those women you employ? They lose their jobs. All the women you're trying to help? They lose their advocate. Maria sat down heavily. So I'm supposed to just give Ashley back to him? No. We find another way. Lizer. What other way? Laura was quiet. Then she said, we expose Tyler. Publicly. Make him toxic. Make his family's protection more harmful than helpful. How? We need other victims. Tyler can't be the first. Men like him never are. Maria called Brandon. He answered on the first ring. Maria, is it true? Is Ashley staying with you? Yes, she's safe. My father called. He's furious. Said you kidnapped his daughter. Your father's in prison. His opinion doesn't matter. Brandon sighed. Ashley called me. Told me about Tyler. He is. That's why I need your help. Do you know anyone at Columbia? Anyone who might know Tyler? Know his history? Brandon was quiet. Then. There was a girl. Emma, something. She dated Tyler freshman year. I heard it ended badly. Let me make some calls. Thank you. Emma Chen agreed to meet Maria at a coffee shop near campus. She was 21. Nervous. Kept looking over her shoulder. Thank you for talking to me. Emma stirred her coffee. I don't want trouble. Tyler's family, they're powerful. I know, but I'm trying to help someone. Someone Tyler's hurting. Emma's hand shook. He hurt me too. For 6 months. Started sweet, then controlling, then violent. Did you report it? I tried. Went to campus police. Tyler's mother showed up with lawyers. Said I was lying. Said I was trying to extort them. They threatened to expel me for filing false charges. Did anyone believe you? Emma shook her head. Tyler's father is a judge. His mother prosecutes criminals. Who's going to believe a nobody like me over them? I believe you. Emma looked up, tears in her eyes. Really? Really, and I need you to tell your story. Publicly. Emma went pale. I can't. They'll destroy me. They're already destroying another woman. Her name is Ashley. She's 19, covered in bruises. Terrified for her life. Emma was quiet for a long time. Then she whispered. Can you put me in touch with them? I can try. But Maria, you need to understand. These people, the Morrisons, they don't play fair. They will come after you with everything they have. Let them come. Emma made calls. Over the next week, Maria met with 5 other women. All had dated Tyler. All had been abused. All had tried to report it. All had been silenced by the Morrison family's power and money. Laura recorded their testimonies, filed them with the court, submitted them to the university, sent copies to journalists. The story broke on a Thursday. Columbia student accused of serial abuse, father's judicial position allegedly used to cover up crimes. Tyler held a press conference the next day. His parents flanked him. He looked earnest, vulnerable, wronged. These accusations are completely false. I've never hurt anyone. These women are being manipulated by Maria Thompson, a known con artist who preys on vulnerable families. His mother stepped forward. My son is innocent. These allegations are part of a coordinated attack by Miss Thompson, who has a vendetta against successful families. We will not only clear Tyler's name, we will ensure Miss Thompson faces justice for her crimes. His father added, I've recused myself from any cases involving Miss Thompson to avoid conflicts of interest. But as a father, I'm appalled by these false accusations. My son is a victim here. The media ate it up. Some outlets supported the women. Others sided with Tyler. The court of public opinion was divided. But something was changing. More women came forward. Not just Tyler's ex-girlfriends. Women from his high school. Women from his neighborhood. A pattern emerged. 10 women. 15. Tyler's lawyer called Laura, offered a deal. Tyler will agree to counseling, anger management, community service. In exchange, drop all charges and public statements. Laura called Maria. What do you think? What does Ashley think? Ashley was firm. No deal. I want him prosecuted. I want him in prison. So Laura told the lawyer. No deal. See you in court. The Morrison family escalated. They filed complaints with ICE about Maria's U visa. Filed bar complaints against Laura. Filed business license challenges against Carmen's cooperative. Harassed the women who'd testified. Threatened Emma's scholarship. Threatened another woman's job. Maria sat in the office surrounded by legal documents. Carmen looked exhausted. Laura looked determined. Ashley looked scared. Maybe I should just drop it, Ashley whispered. This is too much. Too many people getting hurt. No, Maria said firmly. That's what they want. They want you scared, silenced. But what if we lose? Then we lose fighting. That's better than giving up. The preliminary hearing was scheduled for February. 2 weeks away. Tyler's lawyers filed motion after motion. Trying to delay. Trying to get evidence thrown out. Trying to intimidate. Tyler's lawyers. Just for maintenance teen now. Then Maria's phone rang. Unknown number. She almost didn't answer. Hello? Maria Thompson? This is Judge Harold Morrison, Tyler's father. Maria's hand tightened on the phone. Judge Morrison, your son told you not to contact me directly, I assume. This isn't about the case. This is father to father. Wait, you don't have kids. His voice was condescending. I have 3 children in Jamaica. And I understand plenty. Then you understand I'm protecting my son. Like any parent would. I understand you're protecting a man who hurts women. That's not parenting. That's enabling. The judge's voice hardened. Miss Thompson, let me be very clear. You're going to lose this case. Not because Tyler's innocent, but because I have the power to make you lose. I know judges. I know prosecutors. I know how the system works. And I know how to make people disappear. Are you threatening me? I'm warning you. Drop this case. Take your money and go back to Jamaica. Or I will make sure you never work again. Never help anyone again. I'll have your visa revoked. Your business shut down. Your lawyer disbarred. Everything you've built, I will destroy. Maria's voice was steady. Judge Morrison, I've been threatened by people more powerful than you. I've been abused by people richer than you. I've survived things you can't imagine. So when I say I'm not backing down, I mean it. See you in court. She hung up. Her hands were shaking, but not from fear. From rage. From determination. From the knowledge that she'd been here before and survived. Laura looked worried. Maria, that was a sitting federal judge who just threatened you. We need to report this. No, we use it. Maria's eyes were hard. He thinks he's untouchable. Let's prove him wrong. But the pressure kept mounting. Ashley started having panic attacks. Couldn't eat, couldn't sleep, couldn't stop looking over her shoulder. One night, Maria found her in the bathroom with scissors. About to cut her wrists. Ashley. Maria grabbed the scissors. Don't. Please don't. I can't do this anymore. Ashley was sobbing. It's too hard. He's too powerful. They're all too powerful. Maria held her, rocked her like she used to rock her own children. I know it's hard. I know you're scared, but you're stronger than you think. I'm not strong. I'm broken. Just like my mother broke you. No. Maria pulled back, looked her in the eyes. Your mother didn't break me. She tried. For 8 years she tried. But I'm still here. Still fighting. Still standing. And you will be too. How do you know? Because you're here. You left him. You're testifying. That takes more strength than most people have in their entire lives. Ashley wiped her eyes. I'm so tired, Maria. I know, baby. I know. But we're almost done. Just hold on a little longer. The night before the hearing, Maria couldn't sleep. She sat in her apartment, looking at photos of her grandchildren. Her real babies, growing up in Jamaica. She'd been back twice to visit. They knew her now, loved her, but she was here. Still fighting, still helping. Her phone buzzed. A text from an unknown number. Look outside your window. Maria's blood ran cold. She looked down. A car was parked across the street. Someone sat inside. Watching. Another text. Last chance, walk away. Maria closed the curtains. Called 911. But by the time police arrived, the car was gone. No evidence. No proof. Just her word against nothing. Laura called at 6 a.m. We have a problem. Emma's refusing to testify, someone threatened her family. What about the others? 2 are backing out. Too scared. Tyler's family got to them. 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 So what do we have? Ashley's testimony. The medical records. Some text messages. It might not be enough. Ashley's testimony. Ashley's testimony. Ashley's testimony. Maria felt the weight of it all. The fight. The exhaustion. The endless battle against people with unlimited resources. But then she thought of Ashley's face when Tyler hit her. Emma's tears when she told her story. All the women still trapped, still suffering, still silent. It's enough, Maria said. It has to be enough. The courtroom was packed. Tyler sat with his expensive lawyers. His parents in the front row. On Maria's side, Ashley sat trembling. Carmen held her hand. Laura organized documents. Maria sat between them. 3 women against an empire. The judge walked in. Not Tyler's father, thankfully. Judge Patricia Okonkwo. Nigerian American. Known for being fair but tough. She looked at both sides. I've read the preliminary briefs. This is a case about domestic violence, abuse of power, and obstruction of justice. We will proceed with respect and dignity. Any attempts at intimidation will result in contempt charges. Are we clear? Both sides nodded. The prosecutor called Ashley to the stand. She walked up slowly, sat down, took the oath. Laura approached gently. Ashley, can you tell us about your relationship with Tyler Morrison? Ashley's voice shook. We met at Columbia. He was charming, sweet, made me feel special. When did things change? About 3 months in. He started getting jealous. Checking my phone, demanding to know where I was every minute. And then? Then he hit me. The first time, he said it was an accident. Said he didn't mean to. Cried. Promised it would never happen again. But it did happen again? Ashley nodded. It happened a lot. She looked at Tyler. Almost every day toward the end. Tyler's lawyer cross-examined her. Tried to make her look unstable. Tried to point out her mother's conviction, suggesting mental illness ran in the family. Tried to imply she was making it up for attention. But Ashley held firm. Answered every question. Showed her bruises. Her medical records. Her determination. Then Laura called Emma. She'd changed her mind. Decided to testify despite the threats. She told her story. Then another woman. Then another. 3 women who'd overcome their fear. Tyler's defense was simple. They're all lying. Coordinated by Maria Thompson. A woman with a vendetta against successful families. But the medical records were real. The photos were real. The pattern was undeniable. The judge called for closing arguments. Tyler's lawyer spoke first, painted him as a victim of a vindictive campaign. Painted the women as opportunists. Painted Maria as a manipulator. Then Laura stood. She didn't yell, didn't theatrics. Just spoke quietly and clearly. Your Honor, this case isn't complicated. A man hurt multiple women. His family used power and influence to cover it up. The women he hurt found the courage to speak up. That's it. That's the whole story. Everything else is noise. She sat down. The courtroom was silent. Judge Okonkwo looked at Tyler for a long moment. Mr. Morrison, I've seen a lot of abusers in my courtroom. They all have the same look. The same entitled smirk. The same belief that they're above consequences. You have that look. Based on the evidence presented, I'm issuing a restraining order. Mr. Morrison, you are to stay at least 500 feet from Ashley Whitmore at all times. You are to have no contact, direct or indirect. Violation will result in immediate arrest. Tyler's face went red. Your Honor, this is outrageous. I'm innocent. This is a civil restraining order, Mr. Morrison. Not a criminal conviction. But the evidence supports it. She looked at the prosecutor. I'm also recommending criminal charges be filed. Multiple counts of assault and battery. Tyler's mother stood up. Your Honor, this is a travesty. My son is being railroaded. Mrs. Morrison, sit down or leave my courtroom. The woman sat, fury in her eyes. The judge continued. Furthermore, I'm referring the evidence of witness intimidation to the Bar Association and appropriate law enforcement. If Judge Morrison or any member of the Morrison family contacted witnesses or attempted to influence testimony, there will be consequences. Maria felt tears running down her face. Not from sadness. From relief. From vindication. From the knowledge that they'd won. Ashley collapsed into her arms. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Outside the courtroom, reporters swarmed. Tyler's parents pushed through without comment. But Maria stopped. Looked at the cameras. This isn't just about Tyler Morrison. This is about every woman who's been hurt and told to be quiet. Every woman who's reported abuse and been called a liar. Every woman who's trapped because her abuser has power. She paused. I'm Maria Thompson. 8 years ago, I was trafficked by a wealthy family. They owned me. They abused me. They tried to destroy me when I fought back. But I survived. And I'm here to tell every woman out there, you can survive too. You can fight back. You can win. The story went viral. Within days, Maria's phone rang constantly. Women from across the country. Women who'd been abused by powerful men. Women who'd been silenced. Women who wanted help. Carmen looked at the list of names. There are hundreds of them, Maria. I know. We can't help them all. We can try. Laura shook her head. We need more lawyers. More resources. More everything. Laura sources. Then we'll build it. Maria's voice was firm. We'll create something bigger. Something that can't be stopped. 6 months later, they opened the Thompson Foundation. Named after Maria. Funded by donations and grants. Staffed by survivors who'd become advocates. They helped 50 women the first year. Then 100. Then 200. Ashley joined them. Became a counselor for young women leaving abusive relationships. Used her story to help others. Found purpose in her pain. Brandon donated money from his trust fund. Helped other children of abusers break free from their families' legacies. And Maria? She kept answering the phone. Kept showing up. Kept fighting. Because that's what survivors do. They don't just survive, they ensure no one else has to suffer what they suffered. They turn pain into power. Silence into strength. Victimhood into victory. Late one night, Maria sat alone in the foundation office. Looked at the photos on the wall. Ashley, smiling. Emma graduating. Anna with her citizenship certificate. Grace with her children. Dozens of faces. Hundreds of stories. All connected by one thread. They refused to stay silent. They refused to accept abuse as normal. They refused to let power win. Her phone rang. Another midnight call. Another desperate voice. Another woman who'd run out of options. Maria picked up. Hello, my name is Maria Thompson. Tell me what happened. I'm listening. Because someone had listened to her once. Carmen, Laura, Brandon. And that had saved her life. Now she'd spend the rest of her life returning the favor. One woman at a time. One phone call at a time. One victory at a time. The fight wasn't over. It would never be over. But she wasn't afraid anymore. She was ready. The voice on the other end was barely a whisper. My name is Luz. You came to my house in New Jersey 2 years ago. But I ran. I was too scared. Now I'm ready. Please, help me. Maria sat up straight. Luz. The woman they'd lost. The one who'd disappeared out the back door while they fought at the front. Where are you? Queens. A church basement. Street Agnes. I ran away 3 days ago. I have nothing. No money. No papers. Just the clothes I'm wearing. I hope a comty. Stay there. I'm coming right now. Maria grabbed her keys. Called Carmen. We found Luz. Carmen was at her apartment in 20 minutes. They drove to Queens in silence. The church was dark, except for one light in the basement. Luz sat on the steps. Thinner than Maria remembered. Hollow eyes. Shaking hands. You came. I told you I would. 2 years ago. Luz started crying. I wasn't ready then. I was too afraid. But 3 days ago, Mr. Patterson, he brought another girl. Younger than me. Maybe 17. From Guatemala. And I knew. I knew if I didn't leave, I'd watch him destroy her like he destroyed me. Where is she now? The girl? Still there. In that house. Sleeping in the same basement room I slept in for 8 years. Maria looked at Carmen. We have to go back. Now? Tonight? Now. But we don't have legal authority. We can't just break in. We're not breaking in. We're rescuing someone. They drove back to New Jersey. Pulled up to the Patterson house at 3 a.m. Lights were off. Maria got out of the car. Carmen grabbed her arm. Maria, this is dangerous. We should call the police. And say what? We think there's a girl in there? They'll ask for proof. By the time they get a warrant, she'll be gone. So what's your plan? Maria looked at the house. Walked up to the door. Rang the bell. Kept ringing until a light came on upstairs. Mr. Patterson opened the door in his bathrobe. Fury on his face. What the hell do you want? It's 3 in the morning. I want the girl. The one from Guatemala. There's no girl here. You're insane. I'm calling the police. Good. Call them. I'll tell them about Luz. About Anna. About the 8 years of labor trafficking. Let's see what they say. Patterson's face went pale. Luz told you? Luz is safe. And I'm not leaving without that girl. You have no right to be here. Get off my property. Maria didn't move. Patterson said nothing. Maria stepped closer. What's her name? A small voice from inside the house. Mama? Who is at the door? Patterson spun around. Go back to bed, Rosita. But footsteps came down the stairs. A girl appeared. Maybe 16. Thin. Scared. She looked at Maria. Who are you? My name is Maria. I help women leave bad situations. If you want to leave, you can come with me right now. Rosita looked at Patterson. Then back at Maria. He said I owe him money. For bringing me here. For giving me work. He said I can't leave until I pay him back. How much does he say you owe? $20,000. Maria turned to Patterson. 20,000? For what? Travel expenses, housing, food, it's all in the contract. She's 16. She can't sign a contract. Her parents signed. It's legal. No, it's trafficking. And you're going to prison for it. Patterson pulled out his phone. I'm calling the police. All of you. Trespassing. Harassment. Call them. Maria's voice was steel. But first, let me show Rosita something. She turned to the girl. Do you know what trafficking is? The girl shook her head. It's when someone brings you to a country and forces you to work to pay off a debt you don't really owe. It's slavery. And it's illegal. You don't owe him anything. You can leave right now. But my parents, they took his money. That's between them and him. Not you. You're a child. You deserve to be safe. Rosita looked at Patterson. He was already dialing. His face was red with rage. But the girl made a choice. She ran to Maria. Please. Patterson lunged forward. She's not going anywhere. Carmen stepped between them. Touch her and I'll break your arm. The police arrived 15 minutes later. Patterson told his story. These women broke into his house. Tried to kidnap his employee. He was the victim. Again. But this time, the officer recognized Maria. You're Maria Thompson. The one who brought down those trafficking families. Yes. And you're saying this man is trafficking this girl? Yes. Her name is Rosita. She's 16. Been here 3 weeks. Forced to work 18-hour days to pay off a fake debt. The officer looked at Patterson. Sir, is this true? Of course not. I'm helping this girl. Giving her opportunities. Then you won't mind if we investigate? Patterson's lawyer arrived within the hour. But it was too late. Rosita had already told the police everything. The locked doors, the threats, the impossible debt, the work conditions. Patterson was arrested on the spot. Maria drove Rosita to the safe house. The girl sat in the back seat, silent. Finally, she spoke. Why did you help me? Because someone helped me once. And before that, no one did. For 8 years, no one did. What happened to you? Same thing that was happening to you. Different house. Different family. Same trap. Rosita was quiet. Then, thank you. I thought I would die in that house. You're not going to die. You're going to live. Really live. At the safe house, Rosita met Anna and Grace and the others. Women who'd survived. Women who'd escaped. Women who'd rebuilt their lives. And Maria watched as understanding dawned on Rosita's face. She wasn't alone. She'd never been alone. The next morning, Laura called. We have a problem. A big one. What now? Judge Morrison. Tyler's father. He's filed a federal complaint. Says you're running a vigilante operation. Interfering with legal employment contracts. Kidnapping workers. He's pushing for a federal investigation of the foundation. He can't do that. We saved Rosita from trafficking. He's arguing you have no authority to make that determination. That you're taking the law into your own hands. And he has support. Other judges, prosecutors, families you've gone after. So what do? We prepare for war. Again. Maria sat in the foundation office surrounded by legal documents. Again. Always again. Every time they saved someone. Every time they fought back, the powerful struck back harder. Carmen sat across from her. Maybe we should stop for a while. Let things cool down. Stop. Maria looked at her. How many women did we save this year? 43. And how many called us for help? Over 200. So we stop. And those 157 women who still need help, they just suffer. Carmen sighed. I'm tired, Maria. We're all tired. I know. Maria reached across the desk, took her hand. I'm tired too. But we can't stop. Not when we're winning. Are we winning? Or are we just fighting the same battle over and over? Both. That's how change works. You fight and fight and fight. And slowly, things shift. The federal investigation started in March. FBI agents interviewed everyone. Reviewed every case. Examined every rescue. Talked to every woman they'd helped. Talked to every family they'd gone after. Built a file, thousands of pages long. The lead investigator was a woman named Special Agent Denise Carter. She interviewed Maria last. Sat across from her in a stark room. Recorder between them. Miss Thompson, do you believe you're above the law? No, I believe I'm following it. Trafficking is illegal. I help victims escape. But you're not law enforcement. You're not a social worker. You have no official authority. I have the authority of someone who's been there. Who knows what it's like. Who refuses to let others suffer what I suffered. Agent Carter studied her. Do you know why I took this case? To shut me down. No. To understand you. She leaned forward. 20 years ago, I was trafficked. Brought here from Nigeria at 15. Told I'd be going to school. Instead, I cleaned houses for a family in Maryland. For 3 years. Maria's eyes widened. You? Me. Agent Carter nodded. I escaped when I was 18. Reported my traffickers. They were prosecuted. And I decided to spend my life making sure other girls didn't go through what I did. So you understand. I understand. But I also understand the law. And Miss Thompson, you've broken it. Multiple times. Trespassing. Interference. Sometimes even breaking and entering. To save lives. I know. Agent Carter turned off the recorder. Off the record. You're doing God's work. On the record? I have to recommend charges. Maria's stomach dropped. Charges? Not criminal, but civil violations. Fines. Restrictions on your foundation's operations. The families you've gone after, they have lawyers. Money, influence, they're pushing hard. So I'm going to lose everything. Again. Agent Carter was quiet. Then she said, unless. Unless what? Unless we work together. You bring me cases. I investigate them. We do this by the book. Legal, official, no more midnight rescues. No more breaking into houses. And what happens to women like Rosita while we wait for warrants? We work faster. I'll prioritize these cases. Fast track them. Maria shook her head. You don't understand. When a woman calls me at midnight, terrified for her life, I can't tell her to wait for paperwork. I have to act. Then act with backup. Call me. I'll send agents. And if they arrive too late? Agent Carter's expression was pained. Then we live with that. Because if you keep operating outside the law, you'll end up in prison. And then you can't help anyone. Maria left the meeting feeling defeated. Told Carmen and Laura what happened. They sat in silence. Maybe she's right, Laura said. Maybe we need to operate within the system. The system failed me for 8 years. Maria shot back. The system fails women every day. But if you're in prison, you can't help them at all. Maria knew Laura was right. But everything in her rebelled against it. Against waiting. Against rules and procedures while women suffered. Her phone rang. Unknown number. She answered. Hello? Maria Thompson? My name is Congressman David Walsh. I'm on the House Judiciary Committee. I'd like to talk to you about testifying before Congress. Testifying about what? About labor trafficking. About the gaps in our laws. About what needs to change. Your story, your work, it's gained national attention. We think you can help us draft better legislation. Maria sat up straight. Legislation? Yes, better protections for domestic workers, stricter penalties for trafficking, more resources for victims. But we need someone with first-hand experience to testify. Will you do it? Yes. Absolutely, yes. 2 months later, Maria stood in front of Congress. Cameras everywhere. Politicians watching. The nation watching. She wore a simple blue dress. No jewelry, just her voice and her story. Members of the committee, thank you for having me. My name is Maria Thompson. 12 years ago, I came to America with $47 and hope. I was promised work, a future. Instead, I was enslaved. For 8 years, I was trafficked by a wealthy Connecticut family. They took my passport, threatened me with deportation, worked me 18 hours a day for pennies. And when I finally escaped and fought back, they tried to frame me for theft. The room was silent, every eye on her. But I'm not here to tell you my story. You've heard it. I'm here to tell you about the women who don't get to testify. The women still trapped, the women too afraid to speak. There are tens of thousands of them in America right now. Cleaning houses, watching children, working farms, invisible, voiceless, terrified. She paused, let the silence hang. I've helped rescue 98 women in the past 2 years. 98. And for every woman I've saved, there are 100 I couldn't reach. 100 still suffering. 100 waiting for someone to care. Congressman Walsh leaned forward. Miss Thompson, what do you need from us? Stronger laws. Maria's voice grew stronger. Laws that make it illegal to confiscate someone's passport. Laws that require contracts for all domestic workers. Laws that protect victims who come forward instead of deporting them. Laws that punish traffickers with actual prison time, not slaps on the wrist. What about funding? We need shelters, legal services, job training, counseling. These women need more than rescue. They need support to rebuild their lives. The hearing lasted 4 hours. Maria answered every question. Told story after story. Made them see the faces behind the statistics. When it ended, Congresspeople came up to shake her hand. Promise, support, promise change. But the most important moment came afterward. In the hallway. A young woman approached. Hispanic, nervous. Miss Thompson, I'm Maria too. Maria Gonzalez. I work for a senator. And 10 years ago, I was trafficked. By his predecessor's family. She took a breath. I never told anyone. I was too ashamed. But watching you up there, hearing your story, I realized. I'm not ashamed anymore. I'm angry. And I want to help. Maria hugged her. A stranger who was not a stranger. A survivor who was ready to become a fighter. You already are helping. By being here. By speaking up. That's how change happens. Over the next 6 months, 3 bills passed through Congress. The Domestic Worker Protection Act. The Anti-Trafficking Enforcement Act. The Victim Support Services Act. All influenced by Maria's testimony. All designed to protect women like her. Carmen called her on the day the president signed the bills into law. We did it. We actually did it. No. Maria smiled. We did it. All of us. Every woman who spoke up. Every survivor who became an advocate. Every person who refused to stay silent. The foundation expanded. Opened offices in 5 cities. Hired 20 staff members. All survivors. All fighters. They rescued 200 women the next year. Then 300. Then 500. And Maria kept answering the phone. Kept showing up. Kept fighting. But something had changed. She wasn't fighting alone anymore. The battle had become a movement. One evening, Maria sat in her apartment in Brooklyn. Her daughter Sarah visited from Jamaica. Her granddaughter played on the floor. The TV showed a news report about another trafficking case. Another family arrested. Another woman freed. Sarah watched her mother's face. Mama, are you happy? Maria thought about it. 12 years ago, she'd landed at JFK with nothing. 8 years enslaved. 4 years fighting. And now? Yes, baby, I'm happy. Even with all the fighting? All the stress. Especially because of it. Maria smiled. Because I'm not a victim anymore. I'm not powerless. I'm not invisible. I matter. My voice matters. And I'm using it to help other women realize they matter too. You're a hero, Mama. No, I'm not a hero. I'm just a woman who refused to stay silent. There's a difference. Sarah hugged her mother. I'm proud of you. I'm proud of me too. And Maria meant it. For the first time in her life, she was proud of herself, not for surviving. But for thriving. Not for enduring. But for fighting back. Not for being rescued. But for becoming a rescuer. Her phone rang. Hello. My name is Maria Thompson. Tell me what happened. And as she listened, as she made plans for another rescue, as she prepared for another battle, Maria realized something profound. She'd started this journey trying to save herself. But somewhere along the way, she'd discovered saving others saved her too. Every woman she helped was a piece of her own healing. Every victory was proof that the powerless could become powerful. Every survivor who became a fighter was evidence that trauma didn't have to define you. The woman on the phone was crying. Thank you for answering. Thank you for listening. Everyone else hung up on me. I'm not everyone else. Maria's voice was firm. I'm someone who knows what you're going through. And I'm here to tell you, you're going to survive this. You're going to escape. And someday, you're going to help someone else escape too. That's how we win. Not by being saved. But by becoming saviors. She hung up. Made calls. Organized the rescue. Carmen and Laura were already on their way. The team was ready. They'd done this hundreds of times now. But it never got easier. Every rescue was life or death. Every woman was someone's daughter, mother, sister. Every victory mattered. Sarah watched her mother work. Mama, do you ever think about stopping? About resting? Every day. Maria smiled. But then another woman calls. And I remember what it was like when I needed help. When I was alone and terrified and convinced no one cared. I can't let another woman feel that way. Not when I can do something about it. But you've done so much already. It's not about what I've done. It's about what still needs doing. As long as women are being trafficked, I'll keep fighting. As long as the powerful prey on the powerless, I'll keep pushing back. As long as there's breath in my body, I'll use it to speak for those who can't speak for themselves. And that, Sarah realized, was her mother's gift. Not that she survived. but that she transformed survival into service, turned pain into purpose, made her trauma mean something by ensuring others wouldn't endure the same. 3 years later, the Thompson Foundation had helped over 1,500 women, opened 20 offices nationwide, trained hundreds of advocates, influenced policy in 30 states, and Maria still answered the phone. One night, she got a call from an unexpected person. Catherine Whitmore. From prison. Maria? It's Catherine. Maria's hand tightened on the phone. What do you want? I'm dying. Cancer. I have maybe 6 months. The doctors say less. I'm sorry. Are you? Catherine's voice was bitter. After everything I did to you? Yes, I am. Because I'm not you. I don't wish suffering on anyone. Silence on the line. Then Catherine said, I need to tell you something. Before I die. Something I should have said 12 years ago. What? I was wrong. Everything I did to you. The way I treated you. It was evil. Pure evil. Maria closed her eyes. Felt tears coming. Okay. That's it? Just okay? What do you want me to say, Catherine? That I forgive you. I do. Not for your sake. For mine. Because carrying hate would make me like you. And I refuse to be like you. Catherine started crying. You're a better person than I ever was. No. I'm just a person who chose differently. You had the same choices I did. Power or compassion. Cruelty or kindness. You chose wrong. I chose right. That's the only difference. I'm proud of what you've built. The foundation. The work you do. Don't be proud. Be sorry. Spend your last 6 months sorry. Maria hung up. Didn't feel vindicated. Didn't feel anything except tired. Carmen found her sitting in the dark. You okay? Catherine called. She's dying. And nothing. She apologized. I told her I forgive her. It's over. Carmen sat beside her. Is it over? Maria thought about it. For me? Yes. I'm not that scared woman anymore. I'm not the maid who scrubbed toilets and took abuse. I'm Maria Thompson. I run a foundation. I testified before Congress. I've saved 1,500 women. I'm powerful in ways Catherine never understood. Good. Carmen squeezed her hand. Because there's a woman online too who needs you. Maria picked up the phone. Hello. Tell me what happened. Because that was the truth. She wasn't going anywhere. She'd found her purpose, her calling. Her reason for surviving all those years of hell. She survived so she could help others survive. She escaped so she could help others escape. She became powerful so she could empower the powerless. And every night, when she answered another desperate call, when she heard another scared voice, when she promised another woman that help was coming, Maria remembered something important. She remembered the woman she used to be. Invisible, silent, afraid. And she honored that woman by becoming everything she'd needed and never had. A voice. A fighter. A rescuer. A survivor who refused to let others become victims. That was her legacy. Not that she was trafficked. Not that she suffered. But that she transformed her suffering into strength, her pain into purpose, her victimhood into victory, and her silence into the loudest voice speaking for the voiceless. Maria Thompson cleaned toilets for 8 years. But she spent the rest of her life making sure no other woman would have to clean them the way she did, under chains she couldn't see, in a prison without bars, for people who saw her as less than human. She broke those chains. She tore down those prisons. She forced the world to see what it wanted to ignore. And in doing so, she didn't just save 1,500 women. She saved herself. She became the person she needed when she needed someone most. She saved most, she needed someone most. And that made all the difference.